Last week, I tested how to make different shaped crochet foods look like they belong together. This week, I'm showing you how I made each piece step by step, and you don't need to know how to read a pattern to follow along. My name is Ian, I'm a crochet toy maker. Last week's design episode was all about proportion, how to make different shapes look like they belong together. Today, I'm showing you exactly how I make a sandwich, a drumstick, a croissant, and a pretzel using something I call shape logic. Shape logic is knowing the recipe for each shape: spheres, tubes, cubes, circles, and knowing how to tweak that recipe to get exactly what you want. If you want different hair thickness, change the recipe. You want a bigger box? Change the recipe. It's the same recipe, you're just changing how the ingredients work together. The basic shapes we are using today are rectangles for the sandwich bread and the cheese, circles, triangles, combination shapes, and tubes. Circles and rectangles are the most basic shapes in Amigurumi, and that's what these sandwiches are made of. Let's build this fake sandwich like we would a real one. There's a cheese sandwich, and we've got a bologna sandwich. Rectangles are flat pieces worked in a row. For a rectangle, you pick a side to start from. You start with a length of chains plus 1, because that's your turning chain, and you are going to single crochet into each stitch in that row. Turn chain 1 at the end of each row. And you repeat that step until you've got a piece that's the size you want. There's no increasing or decreasing when you are making a rectangle. A rectangle is a flat piece. The only thing about a rectangle is you need to make sure that your sides are straight. That comes with practice. I wanted the bread to look like it had been cut, so I crocheted a crust on 3 sides. And that's just a border of single crochet around the edge. To turn a corner, do 2 or more stitches in that corner. I did 3. The cheese is the same rectangle shape, it's just there's no crust, but I've added holes. To make holes or gaps like this, you chain a few stitches and skip the same number of stitches on the piece, then continue crocheting on the piece. My cheese rectangle and my bread rectangle are 6 stitches across. The difference is with the cheese rectangle, I replaced 2 single crochets in each row with a chain 2 and a skip 2, and that made the gaps. For every piece after this, I made it and I sized it to the bread. So for the bologna and the tomatoes, I made 2 larger circles for the bologna so that it covers the inside of the bread. And then I made smaller circles for the tomatoes. The lettuce is an interesting one. Lettuce is an oval, and an oval is technically a combination shape. And I've seen it referred to as a spiral as well. And this is a shape that's made up with a rectangle and a circle. There's no increases or decreases in this middle section. Each end is 1/2 of a circle, and this means we increase like we would for a circle. We just split it so that it happens on either side. In the first round, we do 3 stitches in each end stitch. The next round, we take those increases and we increase it again so that we've increased our whole thing by 6. It's the same circle logic. We're just increasing it on the ends. This last round is decorative, and to get this frilly effect, I made 3 double crochets in each stitch. Funny enough, these are the first double crochets I've made in the almost 100 days of crocheting the safari story. Double crochets, half double crochets are kind of just fancy stitches. The only stitches you need to know are single crochets, chains, and slip stitches. Everything else is a bonus and an extra, but it is not necessary. From this point on, we stack it. Bread, filling, bread. You can either sew them together or leave them unsewn so that you can play with the filling and change your sandwiches. These are flat shapes: circles, rectangles, and ovals. Along with the triangle, these shapes are the most common flat shapes that I use when crocheting toys. Speaking of, the croissant is a rolled up flat triangle. For a triangle, pick whether you're starting from a side or a corner. If you are starting at a corner, you are going to use increases to get your shape. If you start on the side, you are going to use decreases to get your shape. We are working in rows, and the shaping for both of these happens on either side. We start with a single stitch at the bottom. We increase it to 2. The next row has 4 stitches because we're doing an increase in each of these. And then from that point on, we increase in the first and the last stitch of every row. If you want a wider triangle, you increase in every row. If you add a plain row in between each increase row, you'll narrow that triangle. And that's what I did here. Next, it's just we roll it and sew the ends together to hold the curve. This is a flat triangle shape. It's the same as the keffiyeh. However, with the keffiyeh, I increased in the middle section too, and that's why it curves at the top. The difference is how you shape it. It's the same recipe, but with different amounts of each ingredient. Next is the pretzel, and a pretzel is a long tube that I twisted. You've probably made a beanie before, and a beanie is a tube. If you've made a beanie, you know that it starts as a circle that's worked from the center and increases by 6 stitches or however many in each round. You increase until you get to the width that you want, and then you make however many plain rounds you need until you are happy with the size. A tube is worked in the round. Now, this pretzel is a mini version of that. This circle started with 4 stitches in the round. This one started with 5. I crocheted a long enough tube that I could shape it into a pretzel. Arms and legs and pretzels are completely different things, but they all are the same basic shape. It's the same song that's been remixed in 3 ways. Next up was the chicken drumstick, and the chicken drumstick is made of the 2 shapes that are at the heart of all crochet toys, and that's a tube, which is the bone, and a sphere, which is this meaty part. Every doll that I've crocheted is basically a combination of spheres and tubes. Let me show you how I make them, and then I will explain to you why I say that. The bone is the same tube logic as the pretzel. I made it long enough so that it could fit into the meaty part as well. For this little bump at the bottom, I crocheted 5 single crochets in a circle straight into the bottom of the bone. And this technique is called surface crochet. And it is especially useful for making toys in one piece. I love one piece toys. There's less ends to weave in, and you know we love that. The next part was this meaty end, and this is a sphere. Along with a circle, a sphere is the most important of all basic shapes. The recipe is, it starts as a circle, you increase to get to the size that you want, you do however many plain rounds you need, and then you decrease to close the shape. The increases and the decreases technically is the same formula but done in reverse. Adding plain rounds between the increases or decrease rounds is what changes the shape. And then to assemble, we sew the sphere onto the end of the tube. All dolls are basically a combination of spheres and tubes, where the heads and bodies are the spheres, and the arms and legs are the tubes. And here they all are. I managed to fit all 4 foods side by side into the cooler box. I gave them bags and containers. The sandwich is wide. The drumsticks are long. The croissant is curved. The pretzel is twisted. These are all different shapes, but they look like they belong together. How did I do that? I identified the basic shapes. I started with a sandwich bread and then made every piece after that more or less the same size. And I made enough food to fit into the cooler box. If you think about it, I freestyle crocheted an entire cooler box and mini fake food from the most basic shapes. The crochet patterns are a record of my steps, and it tells me how the shapes behave. The shapes come before the pattern. It's not magic, that's shape logic. Each shape has its own recipe. In this case, the rectangles, circles, triangles, tubes, and spheres. And by changing how much of each ingredient you need, you are changing how it's arranged. Or you can think of it like having the same song, but remixing it for what you need. I go deeper into these shape constructions over on Patreon, and I'll leave the link in the description if you are interested in learning how to crochet by recognizing shapes so that you can make your own toys. This month was all about rectangles and boxes. Next month, I want to cover all the basic shapes we've crocheted so far for the Safari Adventure story. It's been almost 100 days. Next up in the Safari Adventure is the actual adventure part of the story, and I'm very excited for this because I am going to start crocheting animals. Next week, we are designing a hippo and a rhino combo because I have a theory that I can make 2 different animals from the same shapes and with the same body and head. But will it work? We will find out next week. My name is Ian, I'm a crochet toy maker, and this is how we go from a sketch to a stitch. Do you like it? See, I made it for you.